Welcome to Morning Joan, the hottest celebrity gossip podcast out there. Grab a cup of coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into some juicy news. You know, Hollywood is all about relationships, and sometimes those relationships can be quite surprising. Today we're looking back at some star couples that you might have forgotten about. Let's start with a blast from the past, Kelly Preston and George Clooney. That's right, before she was married to John Travolta, Kelly dated the infamous bachelor George Clooney back in 1987. They even lived together and shared a pet pig named Max. Who knew? But that's not all. We've also got Val Kilmer and Cher, who dated in the 80s after her divorces from Sonny Bono and Greg Allman. And who can forget about Seal and Tyra Banks, or Megan Good and Joseph Gordon-Levitt? These are just a few of the many surprising celebrity couples that we've uncovered. Reese Witherspoon seems to have had her fair share of high-profile relationships too. She dated Jeremy Sisto, Chris O'Donnell, and even Joshua Jackson back in the day. And let's not forget about Sarah Jessica Parker and Robert Downey Jr., who were together for 7 years before his struggles with addiction ended their relationship. We've also got some more recent surprises, like Bethany Frankel and Eric Stonestreet, who dated briefly in 2015, and Gillian Anderson and Peter Morgan, who were together from 2016 to 2020. And did you know that Tom Hiddleston and Kat Dennings had a brief fling back in 2010? There are so many more where these came from, folks. It's amazing how some of these relationships flew under the radar, while others were splashed all over the tabloids. We'll be right back with more tea on Morning Joan. Welcome back to Morning Joan. We're diving into a shocking story that's been making headlines lately. You might have heard about the tragic death of Rob Reiner, the renowned American actor and director, and his wife Michele. The couple was found dead in their home, and the suspect behind this heinous crime is none other than their own son, Nick Reiner. As the investigation unfolds, more details are emerging about the events leading up to the murder. It's been reported that Rob and Michele attended Conan O'Brien's holiday party just a night before they were found dead, where they got into a heated argument with Nick. The altercation was so intense that some guests considered calling the police, but Conan intervened and prevented them from doing so. Sources close to the family have revealed that Rob confided in friends at the party, expressing his fear that Nick could hurt him. This revelation is especially disturbing given the history of Nick's struggles with addiction. The couple's daughter, Romy, discovered their bodies the next day, and Nick was subsequently arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. The community is still reeling from this devastating news, and many are trying to make sense of what could have driven Nick to commit such a horrific act. As we continue to follow this story, our thoughts are with the Reiner family and their loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. We'll be sure to keep you updated on any further developments in this case. For now, let's take a moment to reflect on the complexities of mental health, addiction, and the importance of seeking help when needed. Welcome back to Morning Joan, everyone. We've got a bit of sad news to close out the show today. George Clooney's sister, Ada Zeidler, has passed away at the age of 65 after a brave battle with cancer. Now, I know what you're thinking. We don't often hear about Ada, as she kept a relatively low profile compared to her famous brother. But from what we do know, it's clear that she was a remarkable woman who left a lasting impact on those around her. Can you believe it? The sister of one of Hollywood's most beloved stars, and yet she managed to keep her life out of the spotlight. I mean, I've had my fair share of experience with paparazzi, but Ada took it to a whole new level. She didn't even have George's phone number in her phone. Talk about being protective of your siblings' privacy. But what really gets me is the bond between George and Ada. They grew up together in Augusta, Kentucky, and by all accounts they were incredibly close. George has spoken publicly about how much he admired his sister, calling her "my hero" in a statement to People magazine. And let's not forget that adorable photo of them together at his wedding to Amal in 2014. Ada was beaming with pride, and who can blame her? Now, I know this is a sad story, but I want to leave you all with a sense of hope and resilience today. Ada may have faced down cancer with courage and humor, but we can all learn from her example. As we go about our daily lives, let's remember to cherish the people around us, just like George cherished his sister. That's all for today's Morning Joan. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay fabulous.